So Dan, what made you want to become an entrepreneur?
Well, growing up from humble beginnings, you kind of realize that where you are is where you are, and there's a lot more out there. And when you start seeing bigger things, you have to identify that as a picture of some place that you want to be. And not being in that atmosphere growing up, you got to really believe that it's somewhere that you can go. And at the same time, you got to understand that it's available to everybody. If somebody already has it, it's available to everybody.
Right. And so now you being a successful entrepreneur in the construction and home building space, what makes you want to help other entrepreneurs now?
Well, I just think that people put a cap on themselves and don't believe in themselves, or they don't identify themselves as being able to be successful because of where they come from or what they do. So when you look at that, I mean, a lot of people have to understand that any dynamic of person, or no matter where you come from, you have the ability to be successful. And I just think people stop believing in themselves at such a young age. They just want to go out there and live that job and pay those bills, but not really live the life that they deserve.
Right. And what makes you want to actually help these people though?
Well, I just think it's a passion of mine because I had a mentor, and I know how important it is to have a mentor, and I know how important it is to have somebody who believes in you and somebody coaches you and somebody who can identify the things that you need to improve on to get you to that place where you want to be.
Right.
So being able to watch someone transition is a huge and warming feeling when you know that you've been able to be a part of that.
And so, talk to me about failure.
Well, I mean, failure is inevitable. We fail our entire lives, and when we look at childhood, whether you're a baseball player, whether you're a softball player, whether you're a basketball player, you don't make every shot, you don't swing and hit every ball, and we learn to continue to go. But as we get older, I feel like our failure is something that we take internally and something that we take so to heart that we forget to go back out there and take another shot, and we dwell on it, and we don't think that it's a part of the everyday life. And what I've noticed is that throughout all the successful things I've done in my life, I've had just as many, if not more, failures. And those failures are stepping stones, and it helps you deliver yourself to that next place, and you got to get through it. But it allows you to get to that next place as long as you don't keep yourself stuck there.
And so, what is it that you would want people to know? People out there who don't know who Dan is, what would you want them to know in a short sentence?
Well, I'm nobody special. Just a guy who came from a humble beginning. Family had no money. And I remember driving through a neighborhood when I was younger with big homes. I thought they were stores. I didn't even know houses were able to be that big. Right. And I saw a dream and I captioned it. And I started reading and I started implementing my life into the space where those successful people were. And I started studying successful people and realizing that when you look at most successful people out there, it doesn't matter where they came from, it matters where they end. And they don't have the resources in the beginning. They go out there and find the resources, they go out there and deliver them themselves, and we all have the ability to be successful. So no matter who you are, walk of life, background, ethnic group, it doesn't matter. You have the ability to become successful, and we all have it within us, but we just have to find that.
And if you can tell one entrepreneur out there, if an entrepreneur came up to you and asked for advice, what would be the biggest piece of advice you'd give them?
Don't quit.
Don't quit. I love that. What would you say to people out there who, when they're in the process of trying to start a business or trying to start a company, all the loud noise they hear from haters, something like that?
Well, it's to be expected. And when you're in a surrounding area and you're with people you know and people you feel comfortable with, once you step out of that zone, they always want to keep you in there. They're going to pull you in. They're not going to be your biggest cheerleader. They're not going to be one to go out there and say, hey, continue to do it. I wish you the best. You're going to come to find that most of the people that you're close with today don't want you to leave because they love you being in an inner circle. They talk about misery, loves company. I feel that misery hates to lose company. And at the end of the day, if you have a dream and you have a passion, people are going to shut you down. And a lot of times when you have an idea and you look at that idea as a whole, people don't discover that idea. They don't appreciate that you've discovered it. They don't appreciate the fact that you're going to go out there and do it, and that you're the one who wants to become successful. And then when you do become successful, they're going to act like they were your biggest fan, and they're going to want something from you. But you have to understand that throughout that process, when you look at life and you look at the people you surround yourself with, you grow up in a place that geography set you, meaning where you moved to as a kid, you didn't get to choose. Your parents moved there, it was affordable, it's a place they wanted to live. Your neighborhood friends became your neighborhood friends just because geography dropped you right there. But as you grow older, you realize that your association is priceless, and the people you spend time with, the people that you surround yourself with, have the best influence on you. So if you take a look at the 3, 4, 5 closest people in your life, understand the fact that you all have a common denominator. Whether your bank account looks the same, whether your situations are the same, whether your lifestyles are the same, there's a common denominator there. So if you want to go to a higher place, you need to find people who have that same vision and have those same goals and are living that same dream that you want to live.
And what would you say to an entrepreneur that's facing adversity?
Well, adversity, I believe, I've been through so much. 36 years old, I've owned a business since I'm 17. And adversity has been one of the biggest things that I've been through, and it continues to come, and you're going to have it for the rest of your life. But what I realize is that adversity makes you a champion. It builds you into who you are. And going through adversities, you just kind of understand that throughout time you have that I don't care attitude anymore. And you know and you expect these things to come, and you know things are going to change down the road. But as you go through adversity and you go through adversity, you're going to realize that in the beginning it was hard to deal with. But as you continue to go, it's going to be a lot easier to deal with. And it's going to be almost something that's very common in your everyday life. And it's going to be something that you know that you have to patternize and move through to become that person you want to be.
And in conclusion, what would you say is like one of your like what's your life quote when it comes to entrepreneurship?
Well, I mean, when I look at life, I believe that, you know, I dream of the dream, and I continue to build the dream every day, and I live in my dream every day. So no matter what happens, we all go to bed every night and we have nightmares, but at the same time we wake up and we have daydreams, and then we have good dreams, and bad things are going to happen. It's to be expected. But when those bad things happen, don't fall down, and know that you have something bigger out there that you've envisioned for yourself, and you have a dream that you've been able to put to yourself. So live the dream every single day and continue to live it and be a part of it, and don't let anybody blow your bubble up.